Hello and welcome to a new video here on my channel, here at commaik. The slope you see behind me is the one I set up in the last video. I have already laid the fleece, installed a staircase and made preparations for the automatic irrigation. The two valve boxes are installed and the water pipes are connected. In this video, I would like to show you how I set up the irrigation for the plants here on the slope. The irrigation is done using the XFD drip pipe from Rainbird, valves from Hunter and connectors from Gardena and much more. Additionally, I will stabilize the slope with this great piece. If you want to know how it all works, how I do it, then stay tuned. It's about to start. In the first part of the project, I showed you how I leveled the slope and installed the geotextile. I also showed you how I built the water supply for the irrigation. You can see the first valve box here. The water pipes come from above through the lawn. I have a connection to the second valve box. I have a water connection. For the new irrigation here on the slope, I will connect it today. A third pipe runs underneath it comes out below the baskets through the gabion wall. I had that planned years ago, when I built this wall already prepared. By the way, the construction of the gabion wall, I will link it in the top right corner of the video. If you feel like it, you can take a look at how I have used over 40 tons of granite stones here. The plants have already taken root well. The supply line for the second valve box is here. I have set up two more gabion walls. One of them has been planted and the other protects the valve box from a landslide. Here I have two Hunter solenoid valves installed. One valve will later control this hedge irrigation too. The valve regulates and efficiently manages the irrigation system of the raised beds. I have a faucet on the exposed pipe. Built in, the pipe currently ends in this PE pipe. Here I would like to later install build a water supply column to which I can connect a water hose. If you want to see how I built all of this and how I assembled the valve boxes, then click. In the top right corner, click on the eye there. I will link the video. You can check it out there as I built it in the first part. Today, however, it's about the irrigation here on the slope. I will install the Rainbird XFD drip pipe and will also use PE pipes with connectors. Gardena. But before I lay the pipes here, I will first show you what exactly I have planned, which components I am using. How did I envision this? How should the irrigation be accomplished? I will first install a main supply line with a PE pipe above the slope. Starting from my valve box, a PE pipe will be laid to the right and to the left at the respective end of the slope, where the plants are located below the PE pipe. I will build an outlet to which the XFD drip pipe for irrigation will be connected. For the connections between the PE pipes, I really like to use the fittings from Gardena. You know this. I have prepared two examples of a T-piece here. Variant 1 has two sides with openings for a 25mm PE pipe and in the middle a 3/4 female thread connection. Here is the second variant with three 25mm PE pipe connections. If the main line is relatively close to the plant is located, I can connect my XFD drip pipe directly to the connector. When the water line a little further away, I can have a PE pipe on the left, a PE pipe on the right and going down. I will lay another third PE pipe. This way I can supply the area with a larger amount of water. Connecting the pipes with these connectors from Gardena is incredibly easy. Half a turn to open, insert the PE pipe and push it in. Then make another half turn. To close. On the other side, the same procedure, half a turn to open, insert the pipe, push it in and close it. That holds. This is how I will secure the pipeline on the slope. It will be installed. Now the Rainbird XFD drip pipe should be connected at the bottom. For this, I need a special adapter, a special connection. There are also various options for that. One option is to connect the XFD drip pipe directly to the Gardena T-piece. To connect, for example, there are these couplings which have a 3/4 external thread. Here is a 3/4 internal thread. Both can be tightened by hand. They will be screwed together. At this point, the irrigation is carried out with the XFD drip pipe. My goal is not just to place the drip tube next to the plants. I want to place around the plant. For this reason, it is advisable to install a corresponding T-piece for this purpose. I now have the option to connect a piece of drip tube to this 3/4 connection and at the other end in order to successfully and securely and effectively connect it to install the corresponding T-piece. From this T-piece I can then lay out a circle which starts here, goes around once and ends here again. The water comes through the pipeline and is delivered to the plant through the circle. It works. Option number 2 would be sensible if there is not enough space or the plant is too close, is at the T-piece. Then I can connect the Rainbird T-piece directly with the Gardena fitting. Connect. That also works. As I have a 3/4 external thread here, I can do that. Screw the T-piece firmly into the Gardena T-piece until it is fully seated. I could do this again here as well. Simply connect the circle with the drip tube. As you can easily see, the possibilities are extremely flexible. Furthermore, I can, if a valve does not work, or if I need a shut-off option, so I will also install my small faucets on the Rainbird connector for improved water control and management. Has a 3/4 thread. I could, for example, connect the Rainbird drip tube directly to the faucet. This setup allows for a seamless connection, ensuring efficient water flow and easy installation. This method is not only convenient, but also highly effective for maintaining a consistent water supply to your plants. Connect and open the water supply with it and close it. That will also work. What would be the possible option if the drip tube is exactly at the very end of the PE pipe? That would be, for example, at the end of the slope where I don't need to install another T-piece to water the last plant. I also have perhaps 2 options for this. The Gardena pipe connections. I have here the 1 variant and the 3/4 variant. Half a turn to open. Push the pipe in and slide it further. Then make a half turn to close. The connection holds wonderfully. Now I can use a Rainbird drip tube connector. Carefully and precisely screw directly into the 3/4 opening and securely reconnect the drip tube there with care to ensure a proper and secure connection to water the plants. If I don't do the whole thing if I want to use a circular line instead of a branch line, I can also use Rainbird, such as screw in the T-piece. By the way, this would also be the connection diagram if I were using the T-piece. Connect another PE pipe to pipeline to supply water, to bring it slightly a little closer to the plants. To use the 1 Gardena fitting and ensure that everything is securely and properly connected and functioning as intended and expected. I still needed an adapter to connect the water supply of 3/4 to the existing plumbing system setup, which was necessary for proper installation. To get to 1, I have a reducer piece at my faucet here, screwed. I often use such reducers to adjust the pipe sizes like Everything you see here will be linked for you in the description under the video. Take your time to look at this. My tip, if you want to build the irrigation system, take notes and make sure to check carefully which components you need. It's better to order in advance. 1 additional as a reserve. Nothing is more frustrating than being in the middle of the construction phase to find out that it doesn't work because a fitting is missing. What I still have here is the end piece for the drip tube. It is connected at the end of the tube. Alternatively, the pipe can also simply be bent and secured with a sturdy cable tie. Also, that works. I have often seen it done this way. Another option for the drip tubes, to connect them together. These connectors are used. These fittings are available pre-pressed. I have them used with my drip hose. It has the same diameter. For the drip hose, absolutely out. In the drip hose irrigation, the water pressure is reduced by a pressure regulator regulated. The risk of the hose bursting or the fittings pulling out is extremely high there. Low? Here I apply about 4 bar of water pressure to the drip tube. I do not have a pressure reducer installed. With these fittings I don't need that either. They hold really securely. On the other hand, I only install these connectors which are simply inserted into the drip tube. If this happens, it is risky. At the latest, when it gets warm and the surface of the pipe becomes if it becomes softer, then at 4 bar water pressure, the connection will simply burst apart. Then you have the major water disaster. It is bad when the break point is under the gravel, or perhaps even lies in the ground. One simply cannot find the error and only realizes that the water meter is turning, but no water is arriving at the end of the drip tube. For this, I have found 2 solutions. Solution number 1 is connect the connector up to the Carefully insert the stop into the pipe and securely secure it properly from the outside with a cable tie. Tightening it down, that definitely helps. What also helps, in addition to a pressure regulator, also the reduction of the water flow at the solenoid valves. I really like to use the Hunter solenoid valves with flow regulation through this control knob. When I close the second control knob and then open it again half a turn, only very little comes out. Little water out, This is of course also a way to relieve the pressure from the water line to take. The water flow is sufficient to supply my 10 male drip tube. I have already tried this in my raised bed. This reduces the risk and danger that these fittings fall out. Why am I even showing you these? Quite simply, the parts cost 3 or 4 times the number of connectors. The clamp connectors are available in a set of 10 for under 5 to 6 euros. For the rainbird connectors, you pay this price for 1 or 2 connectors. Finally, I will explain how I connect a rainbird fitting to the drip tube step by step. You have seen it several times during my video. The drip tube connector has a screw connection, and in the middle there is this small green adapter. The adapter has a barbed hook, a ring, and is flattened on the other side. The adapter must be pushed all the way into the drip tube. This is what it looks like. Important, make sure that the connection is not too close. Is built on the dripper. Here, the space in the pipe will not be sufficient. If I use the adapter, if you push it in here, the dripper is in the way. In case of doubt, you should insert the pipe. Cut a little longer. Then you can properly screw the connector onto the drip tube. The nut should be done, not as I have done it in hindsight, but already previously slid onto the pipe. Then you insert the pipe, screw the adapter in all the way into the nut and tighten both by hand. That's it. I can't pull the connection apart anymore. I hope you were able to follow my approach and understand how I handled the pipes, how to connect them together, and which systems I can combine. I will show you shortly. How I implement this in practice on my slope. If you still have questions for me, go ahead, write to me in the comment section below. I am really looking forward to it. Feel free to give me. I would also love to hear your tips on how you implemented it. I would be really excited about that. You can find the components listed below in the video description. And while I'm at it, a little self-promotion. Do you like my video? Then just click below. Hit the like button and give me a thumbs up. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to my channel. In addition to this video, you will find many more videos on the topic with me. As soon as a new video, when it comes, you will automatically see it displayed. Thank you very much for that. Now let's continue. Before I install the mesh fabric, which is later supposed to hold the gravel, I will, of course, test the irrigation system. Are all connections tight? Is there any water leaking from anywhere? Leak where it shouldn't? Do the positions of the drippers fit the plants? For this, I will manually open the solenoid valve. The valve for the slope is this one. The cables, I haven't connected it to my irrigation computer yet. I will do that later. either connect to my Hunter X core or later to my Hunter Hydrowise. To manually open it, I simply make a half turn on the valve. You can see it. Pressure builds up in the system. There is a rushing and hissing sound as the water is forced out. Somewhere something has burst. There I have already found the first leak. This needs to be repaired first, and then the second test will come. That can happen too. It's definitely part of it. Better to discover the damage now. Later. My mistake was that I did not tighten this screw connection. I had. The half turn was still open. The pipe pushed it back a little, and as a result, water then sprayed out here. Now the water is running again, and you can see nothing is spraying out at all anymore. In an ideal situation, it should now drip very easily from the drip holes. Dripping. I am here at the far edge on the southern side of the slope. If I now cover the hole with my finger, I feel a resistance. This hose is self-regulating, which is a great thing. The pressure at the end is the same as at the beginning. I don't have to worry that at the end of the pipe, no water is arriving or not enough water is arriving. Here too it looks good. Here you can see how the water is dripping out. The protective fleece that I installed. The water is still beading off at the moment. This will take a few days, along with the rain. The sun will cause this film, this lotus effect, to diminish. Then the fabric will become water permeable. This means that the plants receive water from the irrigation and the rain from above. The water from the soil evaporates, but not as quickly anymore. In my bed, what I set up on the other side a few days ago, I did right after we have already noticed the positive effect for a few days. Our plants are growing significantly better, significantly more vigorous than before. I really liked that. Up here, I have a spot where relatively a lot of water stands. However, this water comes from the dripper located here. I walked over here. Everything is dry here. I am quite satisfied. I will now apply the honeycomb fleece. This one, I have already installed a similar honeycomb fleece on my gabion slope on this side. The goal is that the gravel and stones on the slope do not slide down. Indeed, for this reason, I am installing this honeycomb fleece. It is flexible and can be compressed and stretched. Fleece comes over the irrigation pipes, the weed fleece, the plants. I will cut it out. The fleece will be stretched nicely tight so that these openings will be created. They will later be completely filled with gravel. The honeycomb fleece will be placed afterwards, self-supporting. Even with a car, I could drive over it without the fleece and the stones slid down direction. The southeastern side of the slope is finished. I filled the gravel into the openings of the honeycomb fleece and rubbed it in. The stones will sink a little more due to the rain. I will check the area again later, fill it up. Then I will be done. On the north side, I have prepared everything. Here let's take a closer look at the whole thing. I have this structure fleece here. It is really robust. However, the installation is not as difficult as I originally thought. I had set appropriate hooks at the edges. To be more precise, my wife did. Done with my youngest daughter. At the places where the plants are, the fleece cut out with a sturdy scissors and then attached piece by piece. We effectively needed a week, just the two of us, to redesign this slope behind me. Now the gravel has also been applied on the other side, smoothed out, and some more. Decorative elements have been installed. Among other things, I have already planted some succulents and a small rock garden has been created. Up here in this area, there should be my cactus. That is already blooming. A lowering plant will be planted. The irrigation system is functioning. The staircase has been constructed, secured with stones on the side and reinforced with concrete at the top. On the other hand, I have used the remaining filling stones on the new gabions that I placed the remaining stones from my gabion wall and slightly raised the area with gravel. I will also be here when the elements of their work have been done and the stones are still a If there are any areas that have settled a little, refill with gravel. You can see that in some places the fleece is still open and the black structural fleece is visible. What's next for my projects? After I have finished building the slope, I can focus on the raised beds and also work on them here. Install irrigation. So far the irrigation here is still done manually with a watering can. Water from the rain barrels. I have already prepared the water pipe and the valve box is installed. Here I have a valve for the raised beds and a valve for the connection of the hedge irrigation. I would like to incorporate that as well. If you want to see all of this, if you don't want to miss it, then subscribe to my channel. Click subscribe below and my new videos will automatically appear in your timeline. Do you like my video? Then give a thumbs up. That would make me really happy. If you want the irrigation system, look down in the video description. I have linked all the components for you there. I am really looking forward to your feedback. Are you also satisfied with the components? What do you think? Have you done it differently? What can you recommend to me? I am looking forward to exchanging ideas with you. And until the next video, I want to say thank you very much for watching. Take care. See you soon. Bye.